Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I have been absent, I have been busy. I'm growing a baby. And with quarantine and having 3 toddlers at home, it's been tough. But today I finally started something I've been wanting to restart for the longest time. 4 years ago, before I had my son, I was making my own kombucha and I loved it. My husband loved it, my kids loved it, my mom loved it. I think even one of my sisters loved it. I'm not sure, I don't remember. But the thing is that we loved it, and it was a huge money saver because we love kombucha. We drink so much kombucha in our house. So it was a big help. And on top of all the goodiness that it is for your body, you know, having something probiotic every day is really healthy for our gut. Most of our body, most of our health comes from our gut. So it's important that we feed our gut. So long story short, my son came prematurely and I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. So within those 2 weeks, my kombucha went sour at home. Nobody knew how to brew it except me. And then when I got home, I was really busy attending a preemie baby, so I kind of stopped brewing my own kombucha. But today, I actually went to Target and bought this! So, I'm excited. I'm so excited to get started again brewing my own kombucha. And that's what this video is about. We are gonna learn today how to make our own Scoby because I always remembered watching these videos on YouTube and saying, oh my gosh, I just want a simple video to show me how to brew my own Scoby. And so here it is for you guys. So let's get right into it. So you are gonna need, let's see, it's 4 simple ingredients. That's it, that's all you need. So you need black loose leaf tea. You need 8 teaspoons of that. You're gonna need some organic sugar. Just remember, the ingredients that you are using are gonna feed your bacteria, so you want good ingredients. So you need half a cup of that. You need store-bought kombucha. I couldn't find the original, but you know what, flavored one does the trick. It's the same thing. You're gonna need half of this bottle and then the rest you can drink. And then we're gonna need 7 cups of water. And I know most videos will tell you you need to boil all 7 cups of water. I don't. And this is from experience. So what I'll do is I'll boil like 2-3 cups of water, and that's where I'll dissolve all of this, the sugar and the tea. And so I let that super ferment, and then I'll pour in the rest of the water, which is at room temperature. So it kind of brings my brew down cold. So I don't have to wait as long to start. So let's get to it. Gonna need a simple pan. Let's pour some of our water in. Shoot. So we'll just fill that. Okay. And then we're gonna leave that to come to a boil. So while the water is boiling behind me, I wanna talk a bit about the process. Woo! I spilled my tea. I wanna talk a bit about the method that I'm gonna be using this time around with my kombucha brewing. Last time I used a similar jar, pretty much about the same size. Only thing is it didn't have a spigot. It didn't have a spigot, okay? So there are 2 different methods of brewing kombucha, which is batch brewing and continuous brewing. Last time I did batch brewing, which basically is I would use my jar, pour everything out, save a little bit of the starter tea, and then take my Scoby out, wash the jar, put the Scoby in, put the starter tea in, and put a new batch of sweet tea in. Okay, so this time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use continuous brewing, which means I don't take anything out of the jar. It all stays in here, and then as much as I take out, I pour back in. So let me explain that. If I take out, say this is a 2-gallon jar, and I'll probably take out like 1.5 gallons every time I brew, because you always kind of want to leave a bit of starter tea to keep your brew going. So I take it out, and I'll probably leave like this much of starter tea left, and my Scoby, of course. And then what I'll do is, instead of taking it out and, you know, doing all of that stuff, I'm just gonna
pour directly.
So I got interrupted. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pour out the kombucha straight into the bottle from this. And then I'm just gonna pour a new sweet tea batch into that, and hence the continuous brewing. So this will actually eliminate a lot of work, a lot of washing. And it'll just be easier, I think. And also we go through kombucha so fast in our house that I think this should be fine. This method, the continuous brewing, would be something only if you really drink and are brewing it constantly. Batch brewing takes a little longer. The process is a little bit more controlled, but it's a little slower. With continuous brewing, because your Scoby is gonna get thicker and you're not gonna move it, the thicker it gets, the faster, you know, it eats the sugar, and the bacteria and the fungus and the yeast, everything kind of just meshes together and makes a really good fermentation. So it does it quicker with the bigger Scoby. With the batch brewing, you kind of take, you know, your Scoby out, you separate it, and then you know, make another batch if you want. But I'm not gonna do that. Today, actually, I am doing it with black tea. But once I actually start brewing kombucha, because like I said, today I'm making a Scoby. But once I start brewing kombucha, I'm actually gonna do it with hibiscus tea. So that's actually one of my favorite ones. Or you can actually do it with like a berry tea. Like I said, you're just making a sweet, strong tea, and you are fermenting it. And once you got your Scoby going, the world is yours. Once the water is boiling, just go ahead and turn it off. And pour your tea in. Pour your sugar in. And give it a good stir. We're gonna give this about a good 10 minutes for it to just kind of steep, get super strong, everything to dissolve, and then we'll get back. Also, I should mention, when you wash your jar, probably I'll be washing it like once every 6 months. That's what I've heard of people doing it with continuous brewing. I always recommend don't wash it with antibacterial soap. You want to grow bacteria in here, the good kind of bacteria, and antibacterial soap will kind of just kill everything in here, and we don't want that. So one way you can test if your tea is ready is if you taste it. And if it tastes kind of like a strong sweet tea, then you're good to go. Remember how I was talking about less steps? I actually did a little complicated this time only because I used loose leaf tea. But next time I'll be using bags or flour. So then we just go ahead and pour it in to our cold water. See all the tea that's left in there. Yummy. Okay, so we have our sweet tea, and it is almost completely cooled down to the point that we can pour it into our brewing container. So I can never tell when it's ready. So you can always pull out your trusty food thermometer, stick it in, and it'll tell you the temperature. You kind of want your tea to be about 85 degrees. That's like the perfect temperature for kombucha brewing. And like you see here, it's still a little too warm. So we're gonna wait until this cools down just a little longer, because it's about at 113, 114 degrees. So we're gonna wait. So once we have our tea ready, kind of cooled down, ready to go. It's still a little warm. It's about at 91 degrees, but I think we're fine there. So we're gonna go ahead and pour it in. And I went ahead and I actually poured out the first half of this only because I want to get everything that is at the bottom of the bottle. If you see all of that, all the yeast, all of that good stuff, I want that in my brew. So I'm gonna go ahead and just actually give it a good swirl to get everything mixed up, and then pour it in. And there you guys have your first brew. So this here, I'm gonna give it about 2 weeks until we get a Scoby going, and I will do a follow-up video for that. And from here, all you do is you cover it up with a thin cloth. And here's a bandana, just simple bandana, and I don't have a rubber band, but I have my daughter's hair tie. I washed it and then I left it to dry. And so we just go ahead and put it in, pull it out, put it in a dark place, and even got a cute little bow on it, and we're good to go. So there you have it, how to grow your own Scoby at home. Easy, simple directions, step-by-step video. You know, if you have any questions, I'm by no means an expert, but I have had plenty of experience brewing with kombucha in the past, and I'm growing back into it again slowly, but we're getting there. And like I said, I'll follow up with a video, show you guys my Scoby, and then I'll probably do the first fermentation after that. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'm hoping once things start going back to normal after COVID-19, you know, and the stay-at-home order, I can finally start, you know, vlogging again and getting videos back up, because life has been a little crazy for all of us. So go ahead and leave me a comment, and I will get back to you guys in the next video. Bye!